There's something frustratingly predictable about manipulators. They know exactly which buttons to press, which words to twist, and how to make you feel like the bad guy, even when you did nothing wrong. You know the type. The friend who always makes you feel guilty for not dropping everything to help them. The boss who gaslights you into thinking you're the problem. Or that one relative who somehow makes you apologize when they were the one who started the argument. And here's the worst part. Most people fall for it. Why? Because manipulators are playing psychological chess while everyone else is stuck reacting emotionally. But not anymore. Today, you're about to learn 7 powerful responses that will leave manipulators speechless. These aren't basic, just stand up for yourself tips. These are tactical, psychology-backed responses that disrupt their mind games and flip the power dynamic in your favor. And trust me, by the time we get to response 7, you'll have something so brutally effective that they won't even know how to respond. Let's get started. Number 1, the blank stare strategy. Manipulators thrive on reactions. They poke, they provoke, they push just to get you to explode, because the moment you react emotionally, they win. That's when they pull the classic, "See, you're being irrational" move, making you feel like the crazy one. So here's your response. Say nothing. Literally nothing. Just look at them, completely emotionless. No eye roll, no defensive comeback, just pure, unreadable silence. Why does this work? Because our brains hate ambiguity. When people don't get the reaction they expect, it throws them into mental chaos. Studies in psychology confirm that when someone is met with a blank stare, their brain automatically tries to fill in the gaps. They will start questioning themselves. You're not ignoring them, you're forcing them to battle their own overthinking. Manipulators hate silence. It means they have no control. And when they don't have control, they panic. This technique is especially effective with passive-aggressive people who love pushing buttons just to see you squirm. The moment you stop reacting, they stop winning. Number 2, the "that's interesting" deflection. Manipulators love baiting you into an argument. They twist your words, take things out of context, and create unnecessary drama to keep you on the defensive. Imagine you casually mention that you had a long day at work, and they respond with, "Oh, so now you're saying I do nothing all day?" Normally, your instinct would be to explain yourself, defend your point, or tell them they're overreacting. But that's exactly what they want. Because once you engage, they control the conversation. Instead, just say, "That's interesting." Then stop talking. This phrase is psychologically unsettling because it gives them nothing to work with. It acknowledges what they said without agreeing, arguing, or reacting emotionally. Now they're the ones left feeling uncertain about where the conversation is going. Many professional negotiators, therapists, and even FBI interrogators use this trick to control interactions. When manipulators can't predict your response, they lose their grip on you. Number 3, the reverse gaslighting tactic. Gaslighting is one of the most common forms of manipulation. It's when someone makes you question your own reality so that they can control the situation. A classic example is when they claim they never said something, even though you know they did. If someone tells you, "I never said that," you must be confused. Instead of arguing, just hit them with, "Wait, are you okay? You seem to be forgetting a lot of things lately." This completely flips the situation. Instead of you defending yourself, now they're the ones who have to explain. This works because most manipulators care deeply about their credibility. If they keep doubling down, it starts making them look unreliable. This tactic makes them second-guess themselves, putting you back in control of the conversation. Number 4, the yes and counterattack. Passive-aggressive manipulators love throwing subtle insults at you and then hiding behind just joking when you call them out. You've probably had someone make a snide remark like, "Wow, you're really wearing that?" Your natural reaction might be to feel embarrassed, defend yourself, or snap back. But instead, just say, "Yes, and?" This response is simple, but devastatingly effective. It forces them to either clarify their insult or backpedal. Most people who use passive-aggressive comments are not bold enough to say what they really mean. They rely on you feeling insecure and over-explaining yourself. By making them explain their own words, you flip the power dynamic, and they become the ones scrambling for a response. Number 5. The strategic pause. Manipulators control conversations by talking fast, bombarding you with accusations, and overwhelming you before you can think. They want you to react quickly, because the faster you respond, the more likely you are to say something they can twist against you. The best way to shut this down? Pause. When they ask you something or accuse you of something, wait. Let the silence stretch out longer than they're comfortable with. Why does this work? Because people hate silence. Studies show that most people feel uncomfortable if a conversation pauses for more than a few seconds. That's why professional interrogators use silence as a weapon. When you pause, the manipulator gets nervous and often starts filling the silence by over-explaining, backtracking, or even contradicting themselves. Next time someone pressures you for a response, pause, take a breath, and watch them start unraveling. Number 6. The "I'm not explaining myself" rule. Manipulators love demanding explanations for things that do not require one. They pressure you to justify yourself, because the more you explain, the more they can twist your words against you. They'll ask things like, "Why did you not answer my call immediately? Why do you want to leave early? Why don't you trust me?" Instead of getting trapped in a long explanation, just say, "Because that's what I decided." This response is brutally effective because it shuts down the conversation instantly. It makes it clear that you don't owe them a justification for your decisions. Most people fall into the trap of over-explaining because they feel guilty or uncomfortable with silence. But the moment you stop justifying yourself, you take back control. Number 7. The psychological mirror effect. Manipulators rely on making you feel confused, guilty, or defensive. When they accuse you of something unfair, their goal is to put you in a position where you feel forced to explain yourself or apologize. But instead of arguing, simply repeat their exact words back to them in a neutral tone. If they say, "You're overreacting," respond with, "I'm overreacting." This forces them to either clarify their statement or realize how baseless it is. Most manipulators are not used to their own words being reflected back at them, and when this happens, they often stumble or backtrack. This method works because it subtly puts them on the defensive without you having to say much. It keeps the conversation from escalating into an argument while making them uncomfortable with their own manipulation. People who use mind games don't like facing their tactics. Once you start using this technique, you'll notice how quickly they run out of ways to control the conversation. Here's the deal. Manipulators only win if you play their game. The moment you stop reacting the way they expect, they lose all control. Now, here's something I want you to do. Think about the last time someone tried to manipulate you. Which response would have worked best? Drop it in the comments. Let's see which one people have used in real life. And if you want more advanced psychological tactics like these, watch my other videos about dark psychology and manipulation. One last thing, if you've ever wanted to be the person who can't be manipulated, who always stays one step ahead, then hit that subscribe button. Not because I told you to, but because knowledge is power, and the people who have it always come out on top. Stay unreadable, stay in control, and most importantly, don't play their game.